Hello, my name is David, and today I'll be explaining to you how to solve an inequality. So before we begin, I'll give you a brief description on why it is important to solve an inequality. They can be used to model a number of real-life situations, and as well, because this gives a range of possibilities, it's very useful when there's a margin of error that is a big concern for the person using uh, equations to find a solution to a problem. So to start off with on how to solve an inequality, I've given you an equation. In this case, our equation is negative 7x squared minus 2x plus 4, which is greater than or equal to negative x cubed times x plus 4 in brackets. So the first step on how to solve an inequality is to expand and group like terms. So to do this, we'll be using FOIL to expand this. Part FOIL is used in, uh, I believe, sixth grade. So when you're pretty young, so this should be simply review. So when we expand it, we have negative x to the 4 minus 4x to the cubed. Uh, so now to group it, would be treating this as like an actual simple equation, as if there's an equals sign and that uh, one side is going to equal to 0. So let's move all the variables um, onto the left side. When we move this, we'd be having x to the 4 plus 4x cubed, 4x cubed minus 7x squared minus 2x plus 4 is greater than or equal to 0. So we know how to move these to the other side by adding the term. So plus x to the 4 plus 4x cubed. So this equals 0, but make sure to apply to both sides or else there will be consequences. So now the second step we would be doing is integral uh, root 0 theorem and synthetic division. Basically, integral zero theorem is when you take the constant of the equation and you'd find the factors of that number and then you'd plug it in to see what values would create zero. Synthetic division I'll explain temporarily. We know that the constant of this equation is 4, so the factors of this would be plus minus 1, plus minus 2, and plus minus 4. So we know that f of x has to equal to 0. So then whatever number we plug in here, it has to equal to 0. So you can find the solution to this by plugging in the calculator or just writing down one by one. I used a calculator, so we know that f of 1 is going to equal to 0. So this will allows us to use the process of synthetic division. So synthetic division is when you take the coefficients of the equation. So in this case, we have 1, 4, negative 7, negative 2, and 4. And it's kind of like long division. And then you take the root. So in this case, we have 1. And then you'd be applying long division, except instead of subtracting, you'd be adding. So however, here the first coefficient you always place down. So you do 1 times 1 is 1, and you'd be adding it. So in this case, it's 5, and so on and so forth. So I'll go ahead and do this. Uh, so this just proves that this is actually a factor of the equation. Due to the possibility of this having two roots, two zeros at x minus 0, we're going to use 1 again. 1, 1, 6, 440. So now we're left with this. So when we rewrite our equation, we're going to have the equation of x minus 1 squared. These are the two factors of the equation times, due to we factoring out x twice, we're going to have x squared, because we do 1 times x squared, plus 6x plus 4 is greater than or equal to 0. Alright, and then to finally fully factor out this last part, we'll be using the quadratic formula. This is what you learn in 10th grade or maybe even ninth grade, depending what school you go to. And then you know that quadratic formula is negative b plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac, divide the entire thing by 2a. So since it's a review, I'm just going to go ahead and plug it in a calculator. So we have x equals plus minus square root 5. So then now when we finally rewrite the equation, we have the equation of x minus 1 squared times x plus 3 minus root 5 times x plus 3 plus root 5 is greater than equal to 0. Sorry. So now onto our final step would be graphing and finding the values. So values. So when graphing it, so we have the x and we have the y. So then we know this is going to become 1. So sorry, let me just write the x and y. So, and then like this. Okay. So then we know this is -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Okay, so we know there are two, so we're gonna just put down all the x-intercepts, all the real roots of this equation. This is gonna be the -3 plus root 5, and over here would be -3 minus root 5. So now we know that this is an even equation, so we know the endpoints are going to be looking something like this. And if you want to look for the y-intercept, the y-intercept is going to equal to 4. So no, this is going to be ending like this, and that our equation is going to look, or sorry, our graph is going to look something like this when drawn. Obviously, since I'm on computer, it's a lot harder to draw, so my apologies for it looking a bit bad. So now, just by looking from the graph, we can see that the values that are greater than 0 are when it's greater than -3 plus root 5, and when it's less than -3 minus root 5. So then now we can conclude that so x is greater than equal to -3 plus root 5, and it is less than equal to -3 minus root 5. If the equality just said it was greater than 0, there would be no less than equal or greater than equal. So this is how you solve inequality. I hope you learned how to solve it and that you are able to execute on your own in the future. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.